Hello everybody, here again with another one. Today I'm checking out possibly one of my most latestly anticipated death battles, and that is Ghost Rider versus Spawn. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the heck happens here. I mean, I don't know a lot about each character. I am aware that both characters exist. I'm aware of small things about them. I don't know the major stuff. But I know like partially what their powers are. And I know these guys both as characters, but I'm interested to see like more about these guys, more about their powers, what these guys are fully capable of, and at the end of the day, who comes out at the top. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay. I'm assuming this is Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider as well.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
The Spirit of Vengeance versus the Dark Angel of Armageddon.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and
What type of
skills
gun
to
is
find
that?
out who would
It's
win
like a shotgun and
death
assault
battle.
rifle in one. Alright, who's first?
Johnny Blaze has always been
Okay,
a
this
man
is Johnny
possessed, chasing the thrill
like I
of
know
certain
some stuff
doom
about
by
these
performing
characters. I just don't know
death-defying
everything.
stunts, following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson.
Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer. Heartbroken and without enough Wampa fruit to
Dang.
save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could. Chemotherapy.
devil.
Oh!
To cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold
Oh, yeah, I heard
his
about
soul to
this.
Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell.
Only for Crash to actually live up to his name right after.
Yeah, like that's still wild to this day, and like right here, he still died afterwards. Like I don't understand these deal with the devil things. It's always something that the character in the moment sounds like this will get me exactly what I want, but in the end, it just screws you over every time. It's just like, dang.
But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something
Dang.
else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the Spirit of Vengeance.
So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into Hellfire, an undead skeleton
I actually
biker
not
with a
seen the
sick-ass
Ghost Rider
hug.
movie.
The fifth
Is it
scariest Nick
good?
Cage performance, the stuntman from hell. He called himself the Daredevil.
Sorry, Johnny, that name's taken.
Oh,
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider?
Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named a character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you.
The Ghost Rider
Wow.
was bad news for Earth sinners and scumbags. He's strong enough to pull down
Damn, bro.
skyscrapers,
Okay,
blow
did
up
not know
mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries.
Don't even think about fighting back.
Yeah, like, I
he
know
can
Ghost
remake
Rider's,
his
like,
whole body
insanely
from the
OP.
hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage. Only holy weapons that target his soul can
like I
harm
know
him.
he
It's
has
not
this
just
thing
his
where he has
body,
like the
his whole arsenal is hellfire.
Indian Stare,
Ghosty can
I think
create
it's called.
anything
I
you
don't-
can think
I don't
of,
think
from
it's
an infinite stream of chains,
Yeah,
a shotgun
Detonation
packed
Stare.
with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barked right out of his mouth. Life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire,
Oh,
such
Pinion
as his
Stare,
hell
that's what I was
cycle.
thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what
this
this one
badass bike
is.
can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire
Okay,
is a
then.
weapon in and of itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his...
His boner,
real?
Wiz. Get it? And it doesn't just scorch flesh. Hellfire is so deadly, it can burn away your very soul.
This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider, and Danny was the first to master their
Yeah.
most famous
I didn't know
move.
that-
You know,
I
the
don't know
one
about
that
this,
burns your
Ghost
soul to
Rider, though.
smithereens with just a look.
I only know
the
Johnny
penance
and,
stare.
The penance stare inflicts upon its
think it's
victims
Debbie,
every
maybe?
ounce of pain they
That I'm
ever
thinking
wreaked
of? I don't
upon
know.
others. Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment.
Obliterating your soul. It even works on other Ghost Riders, like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny actually depowered Johnny.
Eyes are windows to the soul, so the Ghost Rider must be able to match his victim's gaze for the penance stare to work. Some people have survived it, like the Punisher supposedly because he didn't regret his actions, but it did work on him on other occasions.
Well, Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it
Oh, yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess info, or just show you the error of your ways.
Remember, the Ghost Rider is two souls in one body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Ah, classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you. Because if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Zarathos' strength is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, pen and stare an entire city, and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's manhandled some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Dang, Kraven got this thing. Okay. Yeah, Kraven Ghost Rider sounds terrifying. Also, the hood. I heard this version is going to be in Marvel Rivals. Now, will Johnny still not be the Ghost Rider? I don't know. But I know the hood, they said will be in Marvel Rivals. And I know that was like a Ghost Rider variant or whatever, because I know Iron Fist in the game, he was Lin Lei, I think is his name, instead of Danny Rand, but I know he's like Danny Rand was like the other Iron Fist before him, so that
Hyperbole?
makes sense.
Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the
I
power of
like
the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Right before an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
As far back as the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth. A sort of heavenly Black Ops.
Okay, wait, does that make Zarathos an angel now? Or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon. Fitting, as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus' fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse. That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
So it was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld and took Hell's throne for himself, usurping the devil that ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick-ass upgrade, the Damnation Stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell. No shot.
As they say though, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
I hope that's not the same.
Johnny was just as trapped by Hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance.
Yeah, like I know that
always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
As they sure as hell won't find any in his. This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
And the CIA's most LLC.
Okay, Spawn. Now this guy, I don't know as much
about. If Al
about.
Simmons was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his final fateful mission when, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
The burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell,
where he cut a deal with Malvosia, the big naked lord of the 8th circle of hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be
naked.
reborn a Hellspawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey spawed.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a
didn't know
decaying
they made an
zombie
animated
5
show.
years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was born the undead warrior from hell itself, Spawn.
He's
Okay, I was
so
wondering where he
90s
was
that he
from
comes
hell.
all the way back around to being the coolest thing ever. Look upon his edge wizard and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New
Okay,
York's
so he's also
downtrodden
in the hell.
while slowly uncovering the full breadth of his demonic powers.
Why
He's
you'd wanna
like a
be one
walking
is
superpower encyclopedia.
a whole different thing,
He
but
can
hey.
fly, teleport, turn invisible and intangible, move things with his mind, make force fields, control the elements and the weather, and even stop time. Speaking of time, he
Okay,
can fly
who's
so fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well, he tried to do that, but Malbolgia cursed him so that he could only make himself...
What?
Oh, it's petty trolling like
It's
that that
fucking
gets you
what?
thrown in hell.
That's
To be fair,
hilarious.
Spawn can achieve a similar result with illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Spawn can do all of this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell juice.
You're not wrong. Necroplasm is the energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole life.
Like some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got unlimited amount of the stuff, and it drains
didn't know
every
this
time
guy
he uses
is
his
made by
powers.
the same
If he runs
comic book
out,
company
he's dragged
that
back
made
to hell.
Invincible.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training
it's
and hand-to-hand
published
combat.
Invincible.
He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
And as befits his past
Dang, okay.
profession, he loves
Crossover?
his big-ass 90s guns.
Though his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7
Okay,
Letha
that
is
thing just got
constantly
all
evolving.
types of
It
bad
can
in
act
it, don't it?
independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains, transform into weapons, or drain people
what
of their
movie
power.
was the Spawn
It is the
movie? I've
most
never
potent weapon Hell has
seen or
ever
heard that movie
created.
existed.
It even helped Spawn beat the primordial dark god
figured
Urizen, who
something
can
probably
destroy and
existed
eat
within
your
minutes,
soul
but I've
with
never
just
seen
a
anything.
glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed permanently if decapitated by one.
Though Spawn has managed to survive this in the past. No, Spawn's greatest weakness is his own... How do I put this? Stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady,
Really?
Angela. Great name for an
Yeah, I think
angel.
I've heard of her.
She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn
Wow.
was forever destroyed. Until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There we are, good as
Okay,
new.
this dude
That
just
has
is
to
that
be the
OP,
first
okay.
time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade
Okay,
by
that
Heaven
movie
into an
has all
anti-Spawn.
types of,
He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Malvosia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with Heaven that had killed all of humanity.
Because the reason Malbolgia chose Al to be his commander wasn't that he was some great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to Hell and ripped Malvosia's head off with a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality. Spawn
Jesus, Spawn. Oh my gosh, this dude's just the definition of a daggone crash
became
out.
the king of the 8th circle of Hell.
As king, Spawn is literally a part of Hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between Heaven and Hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this God and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids
Okay.
being total assholes, so
There's
she
so many
appointed Spawn
levels to
to be the
this.
universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the Tree of Life, Spawn became truly divine, capable of battling God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven.
Bro, at this point, what the heck is Ghost Rider doing to this guy? This guy is literally up here fighting both God and Satan at the same time for some reason. I
In
guess.
hell,
I don't
Al
know.
asked to be reborn as a human, but he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can angstily brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell.
This battle is sponsored by DraftKings
He's
Casino.
got all types of sponsors, don't they? I mean, good for them. I mean, I like a sponsor one day. Alright, let's see how this is
Nights
gonna
like
turn out.
these drive men insane.
This is about to be pure
Brimstone in
freaking
the air.
chaos. The city may not be
Something's
here
coming.
after this fight.
If it wants a piece of me,
This
there'll
was
be
riding a
hell
motorcycle
to
up the
pay.
building.
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Make me
What the heck was that thing at the top of that? Oh, he's two ARs. Okay. He just ran into him. Now he's driving down the building just in front.
If you care, it's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
Their motorcycle's gone. What now? Okay. Oh, shot. Okay, what's that thing up there? What's that supposed to do?
sloppy.
Hey, Johnny, let's do something.
You've
Okay,
earned
whoop the
your
axe.
damnation.
Okay. Okay, now what's this? Okay, so I'm taking this guy to the underworld? Question mark?
Welcome to hell.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking this fight to the afterlife. Okay, this man got a fire truck now? This man Trent's... Okay. Alright, Dio.
Be damned.
This man Johnny can't even keep a car for more than 5 seconds with this guy. Wow. Literally a freaking scorpion. This can't be it already. Okay, yeah, okay. Now it's turning to freaking Tekken 8 out of nowhere.
God forbid.
I mean, not out of nowhere, but you know what I mean. Literally turned into Tekken 8. If you play Tekken 8, you guys are... Rip them things off.
Al Simmons, your
I need to stop
sins are
underestimating these characters, bro.
I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul.
It's been open your eyes, Jack. Oh.
I
Okay.
eat sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
He lied. He is the Prince of Lies. Wait, I'm an innocent.
Okay, yeah, just going through all your comic book panelization.
It's like you said,
Right.
nothing personal, asshole.
I guess I was right. Spawn took the dub at the end of the day. I mean, Ghost Rider, Johnny put up a good fight, and honestly, I was feeling in the last bit of the fight. But hey, I guess I was right in the end. That Spawn, you got it, because that freaking stuff with... Because, like, Ghost Rider, I don't think ever went up against God, of all people. And Spawn has. Where did he let himself get killed? I don't know, bro. I mean, then again, this isn't realistic at all, but anyway. I guess that's just how they tell the story.
This was a nail-biter of a battle that pitted Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against Spawn's skill and versatility. Let's break this down into 4
Okay,
categories.
let's do this.
First up,
We got
power.
power.
Divine Spawn could match God and Satan, who could create universes. Similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far
Okay,
greater
yeah,
than
that
any
makes
cosmos Spawn has ever affected. Even though Spawn's battled and defeated Satan in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power, but remember, Johnny actively resists Zarathos' influence,
looks
so
scary.
Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before he went full blue
Yeah,
fury.
like, if I
And
saw
Spawn
that as a
definitely
kid, I
had
would
the
be
edge
terrified.
in skill. He spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate
Yeah.
dream power for
John
a
was just like a
stuntman.
regular dude before
Even
any
with
of this
his
happened.
crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn.
Okay,
pretty much
how did
entirely
that fight
focused
go?
on attacking
Freaking
the
Agents
soul.
of
Which
Smash
doesn't
or
bode well
whatever.
for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds, warp reality. The Ghost Rider had a much more limited arsenal by comparison.
Yeah.
Spawn had a huge advantage in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is their resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the Penance Stare, just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all,
Sorry to
remember
look
the
like I'm
time
saying
he
much.
rewrote
Really, I'm just,
reality
like,
to undo
learning
his
right
own
now.
inexistence?
There was
I like learning
nothing the
about this
Ghost
kind of
Rider could
stuff.
do to overpower that. And that time with the Lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos could.
Unlike how Ghost Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack before, like when Danny used the Penance Stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the Penance Stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The Damnation Stare, on the other hand,
Wow, really?
actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power
Okay,
boost.
that is
And it
Keith
wasn't
David,
just
I'm pretty
Spawn's
sure.
soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
giving Spawn the final edge. Zarathos was almost unbeatable, a massive power advantage, soul destruction, immortality, but Spawn could counter everything thrown at him, and was too unkillable for Zarathos' strength advantage to matter in the long run against his crazier abilities.
That was one hell of a fight, and at least Johnny went out in
Yeah,
a blaze of
honestly.
glory.
The winner is Spawn.
Next time on Death Battle.
Alright, who we got? Who's that? Okay,
Subscribe
anime
and
fight.
join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Okay, next one's okay. Okay, anyway, yeah. Yeah, anime fight the next time. Okay, so it's gonna be a fight that I don't know who's fighting. Because I have not seen that many anime things yet. But I will eventually. Especially if I'm gonna be reacting to shows and movies, which I have a Patreon down below if you wanna watch any of those that I react to. Invincible's completely free to watch if you wanna watch that. But yeah, hopefully I can get more to this stuff down below. Yeah, this was a great fight, honestly. I definitely could feel that this fight was one that I could see people really debating for like the longest time. Like it really feels like a fight that I could see like nerd culture really like debating over. But hey, I guess that's what Death Battle's for. Hey, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Leave anything you want me to react to down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. And God bless.